चाहते कि कोई एक
सम्माननीय प्रधानमंत्री जी
that Sushila Karki has taken charge as the new Prime Minister, as the interim Prime Minister of Nepal. As we know that Sushila Karki is the ex-Chief Justice of Nepal. She was the CGI of Nepal from 2017, and we are joined by Anand Narsimham on this broadcast. Anand, as we can see the visuals that Karki is taking charge as the Nepalese PM. What do you make of this? I think we lost the connection with Anand. Anand, as we can see the visuals that Karki is taking charge as the interim PM of Nepal, and she'll be forming the cabinet soon. How do you see this? And as you can see the visuals on your screen, that Sushila Karki is taking charge as the new interim Prime Minister of Nepal. As we know that Sushila Karki was the ex-Chief Justice of Nepal. She was the Chief Justice of Nepal from 2017, and as we know that Prime Minister Modi also congratulated her yesterday, and countries like China and the United Nations also congratulated Sushila Karki for being the interim PM. And we are joined by Anand Narsimham. Anand, Sushila Karki is taking charge as the new interim PM. How do you see this?
But this is at least it should bring a semblance of stability in Nepal. There was a lot of unease about the fact that the government was in suspension, administration was in suspension. Now, at least with Justice Sushila Karki, who's the first female Chief Justice of Nepal, the former Chief Justice, she's also now become the first interim female Prime Minister also in Nepal. And she is going to be ably supported by 3 or 4 people who will help her put Nepal back on track, and also put the entire democratic process back on track, allow the entire Gen Z to perhaps now recalibrate and form political organizations, institutions and aspirants, because at all levels, if there are going to be elections that will happen, will Nepal chart a new road? Will it have a new constitution again? We'll have to wait and watch and see all of these as and when it is possible. But Justice Karki, while she spoke only with us, so far, soon after the fact that she was going to be, she emerged as the most popular choice among Gen Z to lead Nepal going forward. She spoke with CNN News18, and she said that these things will take time. It's not going to happen overnight. It will take at least 6 months to a year for processes to be put in place, and for the entire electoral process to be brought back on, and for Nepal to be able to chart its future course. There are many tugs and strings for Nepal. Nepal is very integral to Bharat's interests and for this region's interests, and Bharat has always hoped for the betterment of the people of Nepal. There is a lot of anti-Bharat sentiment that is being attempted to be fueled within at the ground. There are entities who want to give it a social communal narrative. All of that will have to be now countered. But stability is something that we need in the region. And if Justice Karki perhaps is the most able person, because she is always shunned corruption, she's always stood up for Nepal. She has, very open-minded and perhaps a friendly and disposition towards Bharat, and also wanting to work with nations together for the furtherment and betterment of Nepal. One of the big concerns for Justice Karki is also to bring back Gen Z and Nepali people from other who have migrated, who have emigrated, who have left Nepal, to come back to Nepal and to do what Nepal's core strengths are, that is tourism, that is agriculture, and then make it strong enough to be able to deal with perhaps really big neighbors on both sides, because China now has control over Tibet and it occupies that territory. Bharat has never been expansionist in its intent with Nepal, because it's an extension of Bharat itself, and Nepal has history. There is a roti beti ka rishta. So all of that, I think Bharat underlines, and people to people there is no hatred, or there is no animosity, because there are lakhs of Nepali people who ply their wares across the length and breadth of Bharat, and there are lakhs of Bharatiya who are there in Nepal helping and contributing to the Nepal economy and business and work there. So as long as this collective spirit continues and thrives, and all sorts of false narratives are busted, the road ahead should be easy. And Bharat has very clearly said, and New Delhi has also welcomed Justice Karki's appointment and offered all possible help. And Justice Karki will also look to Bharat for able advice, so that Nepal can be steered in the right direction, in as how the future generation, the current and future generations of Nepal and leaders of Nepal would want to see it. And there are a few very, very good youngsters who have been at the core of this entire Gen Z movement, who will now have the time to go back to their people, assert themselves, outline and show to people their blueprint for Nepal's future, and then come back into the Nepal parliament properly elected. There has been a lot of damage, so the reconstruction work will have to happen. Justice Karki is currently working from a temporary office. The Singh Tawar, which was supposed to be the Home Ministry's office, now will perhaps be the operational area, or for the interim government to operate. She does not personally harbor any political ambitions, and she has said that at the earliest she would like to hand over the baton to the future leadership of Nepal, and that too perhaps, and what she said is elected leadership of Nepal. So very clearly Nepal will continue to hold on to democracy, but does it rediscover its roots? Does it perhaps reorient itself as a democratic nation? We'll have to see. That's a call that Gen Z has to take, and Bharat is there with Gen Z to help them out, and Justice Karki and her team to provide whatever assistance is desired and is possible.
Right, Anand.